Has a great day. Stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget gratitude and Vibe Tribe Nation.
Yeah, we did the gratitude. Now let's talk about what's going on in the company. Forgive the baby in the background. We got a sleepy little baby, and that's okay. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen, but we have the rest of this weekend. The promoter appreciation is back. Now, I think that's absolutely amazing because they're giving us all of these things with like the starter package. You get the free shipping, the free bottle of Sculpt, the 5 promo codes of $20, double QV on all your orders of upgrade packages, and that's for the $200 kit. Now, the $400 kit, you're going to also get the free shipping, the free Sculpt, but you're also going to get 10 of those $20 promo codes. The 800, everything's the same except you're getting I'm sorry, with the 400 and 800, you're not just getting Sculpt, you're also getting Bionic. And then with the 800, you get the 20 promo codes, but you're also paid as a 200K. And then the appreciation upgrade, you get a $500 bonus on top of your standard commissions when you generate 1,000 in PPA volume. PPA volume is your personal orders, your customer orders, stuff like that. So this is definitely something to run for. I've been with this company for a little over 4 years now. I am restarting my business today. I fell off a little bit, I'll be totally honest. I got into a funk, but I got myself a new promoter. She's running, she's excited, and it's relit my fire. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to Steph and let her have it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I know the title on the cover of the Zoom, it talked about new beginnings, and it may sound funny because I too have been here for 6.5 years. And kind of like the image you've seen with success, it's like up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, you know? And so that's normal. I know sometimes we compare ourselves on social media to everybody's highlight reel, and we can't do that. And um, I wanted to share with you about something that helped me restart or with new beginnings. It kind of goes with gratitude, like we talked about a little bit earlier. But it's a book. It's called Best Self, Be You Only Better by life coach Mike Bayer. So I can put that in the notes after I get done talking, or if the recording is shared, I can put it in there. But it's he was on Dr. Phil, and I got his book honestly at the library. I typed in best self. I was just looking for best self books because I was feeling like an imposter because I've been here for 6 years and I was like, I'm not in the Millionaires Club. I am not where I want to be. I am not, I hit 40K and like life happened. And I know that sounds like an excuse. I'm from Minnesota. We moved to Texas. The pandemic happened. We started homeschooling. And so we've honestly been in like not survival mode in a bad way, but more of just like, okay, we moved to a state we know nobody. Okay, we started at a school, now we're homeschooling. Okay, now like what else? What's next? What's next? Always waiting for the shoe to drop. And so I felt guilty working on my business because I was trying to give to my kids and to my husband and to support them. And at the end of the day, I was just exhausted mentally and emotionally. And so it brings me to the point of like looking for best self books in the library. And that's the book I found. And so he runs you through this activity. And I'm just going to give you a quick lowdown of it because it really helped me the last few months. What he has you do is you write down your best traits, your characteristics. I had a hard time doing that. And so if you do too, it's okay. I asked my husband, I told him, I will not get mad at you. Just write down some best traits. So he wrote fun and outgoing, energetic, driven, caring, well maintained, determined. And that kind of got my ball rolling. So I was able to write my own best self characteristics. And when you think of your best self, like close your eyes and what do you think of? Like, what character do you see? I saw Molly Mermaid. I named her. I drew her picture. I'll even show you. I'll be so honest with you guys and vulnerable. Like, look at, I drew her picture. Can you see her? My daughter just saw her because I was getting ready for this Zoom and she was like, it's so cute. And um, so I wrote down like what Molly does and what her best self is, and when like she's just go with the flow and happy and just a bright light, and has like see my hair, I put in a streak of color of hair. That kind of was that, like she's got a bright mermaid tail and everybody wants to be around her, and she's just very positive and outgoing. So now on the opposite of that, what's your anti-self? Like your worst self when things happen, like, I don't know, again, close your eyes, think about an incident like getting cut off in traffic, groceries breaking when you open the trunk of the car and something happens, your kids doing something, your husband, like what triggers you into being your anti-self? So again, for me, when I thought of that, like I just am impulsive and I run my mouth and I gaslight myself. And so I called my anti-self red, just an angry red person, because I get very like angry. Like again, he had you draw a picture. And the reason I have it in my notes, if you get the book from the library, obviously you can't write in the book. You can find it on Amazon, thrift stores. You can buy the book yourself and then you can write in there. It's really cool. It's like a journal, but not a journal. And he had said like writing this stuff down, visualizing it and seeing it. It's kind of like us when we make dream boards, right? Or when we write our positive affirmations down. When we write it down, it becomes a little more concrete in your brain. And it's not just all these thoughts floating around. And so like I'll share with you like my anti-self: angry, yelling, one-sided, controlling, irritable, jealous, FOMO, like fear of missing out. And so right now with conference going on, I'm really going to be testing my red, like the angry, perfectionist, overanalyze, like analysis paralysis. I used to think that I have to be perfect, have to have the perfect post, have to have the perfect customer, the perfect promoter, like everything had to be lined up. Otherwise it wasn't meant to be. I overthought that if it's meant to be, it'll be type of thing. Um, and so now putting that all together, like when a situation happens, like when payday comes, and is it my best payday or is it not my best payday? Like how I have two choices to look at it. I can be Molly Mermaid and like so excited that $50 is going towards our Disney trip, or I can be angry red and be like, what the heck, $50? That's so dumb. But there's people out there that would love to have that $50. Like I started, um, I was on the food shelf and at the food pantry with my youngest two children, had a vehicle repossessed. And so, like, when you think about your gratitude and you think about $50 in pay, think about the person you used to be and how that $50 could have helped me buy diapers, buy food. So, you're most qualified to help the person you used to be. And even though I want to be far, far away from that Stephanie, that is the person I'm most qualified to help, whether I like it or not. And I think that I was really trying to shy away from that because I was like, if I keep repeating this story, I'm going to just physically repeat it. And I don't want to physically repeat it. And so, again, that's where that imposter syndrome comes in. And I think where this activity has really been helping me, that like I can be more of my best self than my anti-self. And I'm not going to let like the fears hold me back, because that would be acting as my anti-self. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Like as a visual, like I'm a visual learner. And so I can hear things at conference or on a Zoom, but if I'm physically not writing notes or physically not involved, then I forget it. I forget to like take the action. And so that book, not only was I reading it, but it also applied action to it that I can learn. Because I felt like, again, with being in network marketing for 10 years, like I'd gaslight myself, like, gosh, Steph, you should know everything. Or like, no, you don't know everything. You got to learn everything. And I would just always be in learning mode and not in action mode. I could just keep rambling. I don't want to ramble. Do you have any questions, Shannon? Does that make sense?
I'm loving it. I wanted you to put into the chat the title of the book and the author
Oh,
so people can
yes.
jot that down. Because I know if anybody's like me, taking notes and trying to write so fast, it looks like chicken scratch and you write down the key points. But it's helpful to have that information because it's sounding really cool.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you because, it's Friday, the weekend's almost here. What do you do on a day-to-day basis as a promoter for your like IPAs other than, the basics, birthdays, the stories, the posts? What else do you do to dig deeper?
Um, I challenged myself this year to read a book every month. And because I listen to podcasts when I'm in the shower, but again, you hear these awesome points in the shower, but I don't have anywhere to write them down. And so I've been challenging myself to slow down and read a book. And speaking of slowing down, God must have heard me because my oldest son, broke his toe, and we're very involved in soccer, like 7 days a week between the two boys. And now with my oldest not having soccer, that's 3 days, and I've been having to slow down. And the reason I share that is because I was always like, go, go, go. If we are not on the go, we're lazy. We need to always be doing something. You cannot be on the couch. And so being slowing down and reading has been huge for me because then I can take some of those things that I've learned and like here, share it with you guys, share it on social media. Not that I'm an expert in book reading, but I can share in my stories. Hey, I'm reading this book. And then it gets the conversation going of like, oh, what's the title? Who's the author? Would you recommend it? Um, and so it's not that I'm always bringing up Thrive, but just being in their conversation, like, and that gives me like credibility or makes me feel good. I should say, not credibility, but like gives me like, oh, they came to me and asked me a question. Kind of makes you perk up and put your shoulders back, and you're like, okay, I got this. And that positivity and that energy, rolls into my family, rolls into my husband, rolls into like going to hang out with friends, because then I feel confident enough to be able to go do that. Go put pink hair in my hair. Like normally, if you would have asked me like a few months ago, I probably would have never done that. And so just those little things can boost your confidence. And then it goes into your business. Like I am confident enough to post. I am confident to send that message. I am confident to follow up with so and so. And so that's probably one of my other like IPAs. I go into like my downline order history and I see who ordered. I send them a thank you. I check my auto ship reports on the 13th. I have it set in my calendar. I follow up 2 days before auto ships run. And I send them a screenshot and I'm like, hey, your auto ship is coming up. Do you need anything else? Offer them credits. Uh, so those are some of those things that I do. Um, when their order ships, I give them tracking. Hey, your order's on the way. It's estimated to be there April 22nd. So it's not just like, oh, they ordered and I make an income. I'm also providing follow up. I'm checking in. How are they doing? Um, so it goes beyond just, taking my Thrive, posting birthdays, adding to my network. I have to do that self development and that customer service also.
Now, you gave me another question when you were talking about being the soccer mom and stuff like that. I mean, I know
Yes.
that all of my kids play soccer, but nobody really knows is Star. She brought home a state championship for U17 with soccer. So soccer runs in our blood.
Awesome. That's
But my
awesome.
question for you is, what do you say when somebody walks up to you in the stands and says, "What's that patch you're wearing?" or "What's that sticker?"
Yes. I say that's my happy patch. It's my energy patch. Like it kind of depends on like if it's in the afternoon, I'm gonna be like, it's my energy patch. You can't nap when we have a 2:30 game, or if it's in the morning, it's my happy patch because y'all, we got up at 5 a.m. and we drove 2 hours and we're here.
I love it.
Um,
Yeah, I'm a cook for a VFW, which is like a bar, but it's a club.
yeah.
And I was telling people, oh, it's my vitamin patch. And yeah, they were okay. But now Steffi G and Star told me to swap it up and say, that's so I don't kick your butt sticker.
Yes.
And now people have been asking more questions and I've been giving out cards. So you definitely got to read your crowd, but there's so many different ways you can put it. But we
Mm-hmm.
got to stop being afraid to put it out there. We
Yeah.
got to stop being scared of what to say and just say it. Say something to
Mm-hmm.
a stranger like it's your best friend. Now, another question for you. Um, with the reading and the note taking and the follow ups and all of that stuff, how many conversations do you have with somebody before you mention Thrive?
Oh, that's a good question. I usually wait for them to message me or ask or bring it up, like, hey, Steph, what do you do? Or how do you get to be a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids, homeschool? And like, because our boys play club soccer, it's not like city league. And my daughter's in gymnastics, she's there 20 hours a week. And so those are two expensive sports. So I'm like, I'm a thriver. I have an at-home wellness business. And so I kind of just drip on them and wait to see what they say, especially because like at soccer, they see me running around. So I run our Calvary is our club's name, their social media, their Twitter, their Facebook, their Instagram. And they have added me as a friend on my personal page. And at first, I kind of felt slimy. Like I was like, "Ooh, they're gonna see all my Thrive stuff, like my before and afters." Like they don't even know who I was before. Moving from Minnesota to Texas, they don't know who I was 4 years ago. And so it felt at first, I felt like really awkward sharing. But then the parents have been like, "Oh, congratulations on your weight loss journey. Like, how's it going? What have you been doing? I see you walking. I see you drinking water. Like what kind of good habits do you have for me, or what can you share with me?" So just being that genuine kind of friend, it's not always about like getting a sale or like if they bring stuff up, like they're like, "Oh, I got Pedialyte," and I was like, "Well, we have some electrolytes. Here's a sample." Like I always carry Thrive with me, and I just want to be that person that helps and gives, and if they need me, I'm here. And so I may not be the most red personality. I know we just talked about red being angry, and that's something I'm working on because I'm like, okay, people are red personalities, like they're very money and go and get them and like bring it up all the time. And I'm more conservative, even just talking about money. Like right now, talking about going to Disney and trying to like people are like, "How do you going to Disney as a family of 5?" And I'm like, "We've saved our Thrive money. Like every time we're paid, save it." And they're like, "Really?" And it kind of piques their interest of like, maybe I could do that. So I'm not one to like send cold messages, but if they like and comment on my post or my picture, I'll reach out to them and just say, "Hey, thanks for the love. It was super hard to share a picture of me in a bikini." So
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, now I don't want to keep people too long because it is absolutely Friday. So
yes.
before we end this and everybody goes and does their Flex Fridays and everything, I want you to give everybody on this Zoom and anybody that's going to be watching the replay a challenge to do this weekend.
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, I honestly think because I talked about the best self book, like go see if it's in your library, you know, like go see if it's there online. I guess I didn't even look if it's on YouTube or Google Podcasts. Um, but I challenge you just to go find that book. And I know it's long but it's so worth it. The things that were in there I had never heard before. And so just going to see if you can find it and check it out. Yeah, Audible, that's right. Like it has you go through different things. Like I just have so many notes. Like it says, like write down 10 your list of gratitude, 1 through 10. And it has you kind of doing that. So not only is it like a journal, but it's an activity that you could do. Um, so yeah, I hope you guys go check it out. And if you do, let me know if it changed your mindset like it changed mine.
I love that. I accept that challenge. And then I'm going to put out a challenge. I want everybody here to talk to at least one person about these 3 steps that you've never talked to about them before, whether it's belly to belly or in Messenger or in a group, wherever. I challenge you to definitely talk to one new person about Thrive this weekend. I'm challenging myself to do the same thing. And also, I've been seeing a lot of people with success with these online vendor events. So maybe go check those out as well. Other than that, have a great weekend. Happy Friday. I will get this recording up and the link out to share. And those of you that are here, thank you. Those of you that are watching the replay, definitely check out these challenges and get them done. Stephanie, thank you so very much for sharing yourself with us this Friday.
Yes, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. Have a good Friday, guys. Bye.
Bye. Whoops, I went trying to end the meeting on the wrong computer. Bye, guys.